Pitirim Sorokin. Published January the 23rd, 2018. Further information can be found at the end of this recording. Pitirim Alexandrovich Sorokin. The 2nd of February, 1889 to 10 February 1968, was a Russian-born American sociologist and political activist, best known for his contributions to the social cycle theory. Sorokin was a leader among the Democrats leading up to the Russian Revolution, and was sought by Lenin's forces after Lenin consolidated his power. After months in hiding, he escaped from the Soviet Union in 1922 and emigrated to the United States, becoming a naturalized citizen in 1930. Sorokin was personally requested to accept a position at Harvard University, founding the Department of Sociology and becoming a vocal critic of his colleague, Talcott Parsons. Sorokin was an ardent opponent of communism, which he regarded as a pest of man, and was a deputy of the Russian Constituent Assembly. Part 1. Biography. Pitirim Alexandrovich Sorokin was born on the 2nd of February, 1889, in Chuya, a small village in Yarenskaya, Vologda Governorate, Russian Empire. Now Nyazpogostsky District, Komi Republic, Russia. The second son to a Russian father and Komi mother, Sorokin's father, Alexander Prokopievich Sorokin, was from Veliky Ustyug and a traveling craftsman specializing in gold and silver, while his mother, Pelagia Vasilyevna, was a native of Zheshat and belonged to a peasant family. His elder brother, Vasily, was born in 1885, and his younger brother, Prokopy, was born in 1893. Sorokin's mother died on March 7, 1894, in the village of Kokvitsa, and after her death Sorokin and his elder brother Vasily stayed with their father, traveling with him through the villages in search of work, while Prokopy was taken in by his aunt, Anisya Vasilyevna Rimsky, who lived with her husband, Vasily Ivanovich, in the village of Rimia. Sorokin's father began to develop alcoholism, and following instances of physical abuse, he and Vasily left their father to be independent. In the early 1900s, supporting himself as an artisan and clerk, Sorokin attended the St. Petersburg Imperial University in St. Petersburg, where he earned his graduate degree in criminology and became a professor. Sorokin married Dr. Helen Baratinskaya, with whom he would later have 2 sons. Sorokin was an anti-communist, and during the Russian Revolution was a member of the Socialist Revolutionary Party, supporter of the White Movement, and a secretary to Prime Minister Alexander Kerensky, who was a leader in the Russian Constituent Assembly. After the October Revolution, Sorokin continued to fight communist leaders, and was arrested by the new regime several times before he was eventually condemned to death. After 6 weeks in prison, Sorokin was released and went back to teaching at the University of St. Petersburg, becoming the founder of the sociology department at the university. In 1922, Sorokin was again arrested and this time exiled by the Soviet government, emigrating in 1923 to the United States, and became a naturalized citizen in 1930. Sorokin was professor of sociology at the University of Minnesota from 1924 to 1940, when he accepted an offer of a position by the president of Harvard University, where he continued to work until 1959. Part 2. Works. Before his achievements as a professor in the United States, he published his 1924 Leaves of a Russian Diary, by E.P. Dutton & Co., giving a daily and sometimes hourly account of the Russian Revolution, which actually first started in February 1917, where he was in the forefront of creating a provisionary government, only to see it unravel and lose power to the Bolsheviks in October 1917. In 1950, Sorokin published an addendum to the book called The 30 Years After. It is a personal and brutally honest account of the revolution and of his exile. Sorokin's academic writings are extensive. He wrote 37 books and more than 400 articles. His controversial theories of social process and the historical typology of cultures are expounded in Social and Cultural Dynamics, 4-volume, 1937-41, Rev. and Abridged ed. 1957, and many other works. Sorokin was also interested in social stratification, the history of sociological theory, and altruistic behavior. Sorokin's work addressed three major theories: social differentiation, social stratification, and social conflict. The theory of social differentiation describes three types of societal relationships. The first is familistic, which is the type that we would generally strive for. It is the relationship that has the most solidarity. The values of everyone involved are considered, and there is a great deal of interaction. Social stratification refers to the fact that all societies are hierarchically divided, with upper and lower strata and unequal distribution of wealth, power, and influence across strata. There is always some mobility between these strata. People or groups may move up or down the hierarchy, acquiring or losing their power and influence. Social conflict refers to Sorokin's theory of war. Whether internal to a nation or international, peace is based on similarity of values among the people of a nation or between different nations. War has a destructive phase, when values are destroyed, and a declining phase, when some of values are restored. Sorokin thought that the number of wars would decrease with increased solidarity and decreased antagonism. If a society's values stressed altruism instead of egoism, the incidence of war would diminish. In his Social and Cultural Dynamics, his magnum opus, Sorokin classified societies according to their cultural mentality, which can be ideational. Reality is spiritual. Sensate. Reality is material. Or idealistic. A synthesis of the two. He suggested that major civilizations evolve from an ideational to an idealistic, and eventually to a sensate mentality. Each of these phases of cultural development not only seeks to describe the nature of reality, but also stipulates the nature of human needs and goals to be satisfied, the extent to which they should be satisfied, and the methods of satisfaction. Sorokin has interpreted the contemporary Western civilization as a sensate civilization, dedicated to technological progress, and prophesied its fall into decadence and the emergence of a new ideational or idealistic era. In Fads and Foibles, he criticizes Lewis Terman's genetic studies of genius research, showing that his selected group of children with high IQ did about as well as a random group of children selected from similar family backgrounds would have done. Part 3. Death. Sorokin died on the 10th of February, 1968, in Winchester, Massachusetts. A Russian Orthodox service was held at home for the family, followed by an eclectic service at the Memorial Church of Harvard University. Sorokin's papers are currently held by the University of Saskatchewan in Saskatoon, Canada, where they are available to the public. In March 2009, the Sorokin Research Center was established at the facilities of Syktyvkar State University in Syktyvkar, Republic of Komi, for the purpose of research and publication of archive materials, mainly from the collection at the University of Saskatchewan. The first research project selected correspondence of Pitirim Sorokin, scientist from Komi on the service of humanity, in Russian, has been drafted and will be in print in the fall of 2009 in Russia. Part 4. Major works. In English or English translation. Contemporary Sociological Theories, N.Y. Harper, 1928, online free. Principles of Rural-Urban Sociology. With Carl C. Zimmerman. New York, H. Holt, 1929. Preface. A summary of sourcebook in rural sociology, in 3 volumes, prepared under the auspices of the U.S. Dept. of Agriculture and the University of Minnesota, to be published in 1930 or 1931. The Sociology of Revolution, 1935 OCLC 84,193,425. Freprint, H. Fertig, 1967. Social and Cultural Dynamics, Cincinnati, American Book Company, 1937-41, 4-volume. The Crisis of Our Age, New York, Dutton, 1941, based upon 4 volumes of the author's social and cultural dynamics. Society, Culture, and Personality, Their Structure and Dynamics, A System of General Sociology, Harper & Brothers Publishers, New York and London, 1947. 723 double-columned pages plus an 11 triple-columned page index and a 7 triple-columned page index of names. Leaves from a Russian Diary, and 30 Years After, Boston, Beacon Press, 1950, OCLC 1,476,438. With introduction by Stephen G. Post in 2002 edition. 552 pages. Fads and Foibles in Modern Sociology and Related Sciences. Chicago, H. Regnerico. 1956, Okolk 609,427,839. Reprinted by Greenwood Publishing Group, 1976. With London, W.A. Power and Morality, Who Shall Guard the Guardians? Boston, Massachusetts, Porter Sargent Publishers, 1959. A Long Journey, the autobiography of Pitirim Sorokin, College and University Press, 1963 OCLC 426,641. Hunger as a Factor in Human Affairs, University Presses of Florida, 1975. Special characters in this article were substituted with audio cues. They were denoted as follows: and, beginning and ending single or double quotations, and, left and right parentheses, a bullet point. This recording is a derivative work from Wikipedia. For more information, to commission recordings like this, and to support the developer, please visit www.patreon.com/frogcast.